Okay, so that is the main concept of performance. So performance means how quickly we can execute the given task. That means if any program is written, how quickly it is going to perform that particular task and how fast it is giving the output. So its quick response is the main feature for a performance of any operating system or whatever software, system software or processor, whatever you say. Okay, so what is the main advantage of i5 compared to i3 means? The main thing what we used to say is first feature is its speed. So here also performance which mostly depends on how quickly it can execute the programs, how quickly, how fast it is going to give the response. That is the main feature of a performance. Okay, now so how on what factors this particular performance is going to be dependent? So what are the factors that will help in improving the performance? The main factors are design of hardware and its machine level instructions. First one is hardware designing. Hardware designing is the main feature. Okay. Second one is machine language instructions. That means if we give an instructions that are very much small and which takes a less time for execution, then automatically it will execute the given program in a no time. If I give any complex instructions, the execution of the instructions will take a lot of time, which in results gives the poor performance, isn't it or not? So the main factors that affects the performance is first one is hardware features. That means how the components are interconnected. Okay, if all the components are interconnected within no space, then it is very much easy to transmit the data from one place to another place. If not, if the particular component is processor is placed here and input device is placed far away and the output device is placed this side far away, it will take a lot of time for communication. Okay, isn't it or not? If they are placed side by side, automatically within no time they can communicate with each other and they can give the output. Okay, so that's what they have mentioned here. It depends upon the design of the hardware, and also the main thing is how the instructions are written, because software is nothing but programs. So how the instructions are written, how simply the programs are the instructions are written. If the instructions are simple, it will take less number of clock cycles for its execution. So obviously it will increase the speed of the operation. So that is about this performance. And here we are having one slide. This mainly indicates about cache and CPU core and bus. So at present, don't bother about this slide. We have a detailed slide in the next, which will deal about, give an information about what is meant by cache memory. Okay, so at present, don't bother about this slide. Next, what is meant by a processor clock? So this is very important. Okay, what is meant by a clock? So what is meant by a clock? I have given a simple definition. Clock is a timing signal. Very good. What is the purpose of the clock? See, we have just now we have told our previous. We'll just move to the previous slide. What is the heading of this slide? Performance. Okay. So what we have mentioned here, how quickly it can execute the programs, isn't it, Anna? So how quickly it is executing the programs will be depending on the clock frequency. Okay, na? So how quickly a processor is going to be executing a task will be depending on the clock what we are giving. Okay, for clock we are going to give a particular frequency that will be referred as clock frequency. You all are familiar about the relation between frequency and time period. So the time period is nothing but inverse of frequency is nothing but a time period. So here what we are going to give is we are going to give a particular clock frequency. So obviously it will calculate the inverse of frequency so that we are going to get a time period. So what is the thing you have to remember is for a high performance we need to give a high frequency. If the clock frequency is high, then the time period will be less because frequency f is equal to 1 by t na. So F is equal to 1 by T. So if the frequency is high, then the time period is going to be less. What is mean by time period? The time taken for executing a single cycle. The time taken to for one cycle, for complete cycle is called time period. Okay. So if the time period is less, that means in a given time, it can perform multiple number of operations. Isn't it or not? Time period means the time taken to perform one operation. If it is very less, then obviously in a given time, you can perform multiple number of operations. If the time period is more, that means in order to execute an instruction, if you are taking much more time, obviously in order to execute a program, it will take a lot of time. So that is the concept that what here they have mentioned. So clock is a timing signal. So it gives the time. What for which time it is going to give means execution time. The time taken for executing an instruction. Okay. Higher the clock frequency. I am discussing about clock frequency. Higher the clock frequency, lower the time of execution. That means the processor performance is very good. If the clock frequency is less, then the time period for executing will be more, then its performance will be less. Okay, so there is a formula for clock cycle and clock rate. Clock rate R is equal to 1 by P. 1 by P. That means 1 by clock signal. Okay, next, basic performance equation. Please remember this. Basic performance equation and clock rate formula. Clock rate is nothing but 1 by frequency, 1 by P I have given. Next, basic performance equation. T is equal to N into S by R. This I will give a what you will call a brief introduction afterwards. Let at this time you just remember these two. Clock rate R is equal to 1 by P. What is the purpose of a processor clock? It will depend. It will determine the timing. It is a timing signal. Depending upon the processor clock, we are for a processor clock we are going to give a particular frequency, 1 megahertz frequency, 10 megahertz frequency, like that. So as we are familiar now, frequency is inversely proportional to time period. Depending on the frequency, it will calculate the time period. Okay, at that particular time period, it will operate the operations. If you give a large amount of frequency, then the time period is going to be less. That means it will perform the operations in very less time. Okay, if the frequency is less, then the time period is going to be more. That means it will take a lot of time to execute the given task. Okay, so that is about this processor clock. I think we can